we're on the last day of this boat journey, and it did get extended by a day because of protests along the river. But I'm gonna walk you through this process, this journey, what I think, the whole shebang, the whole night. It is a really cool experience. It's a really cool way to get into the Amazon because you're going upriver, and we're actually going to be getting onto the real Amazon River. This merges with another river, turns into the Amazon here shortly, which is a really neat experience. It's pretty wild. You show up in a town called Yarimagus. You find the boat. Everyone recommends the Eduardo ships, and there's quite a few of them. One leaves every day, but there are a lot of different options. We had a good experience on the Eduardo boat. I would recommend it. You just walk on, and they do have rooms, which you can see behind me, but those rooms are for the people working here, and I've read blogs where people were able to book rooms, but we were not. So we hung up our hammock in this spot behind the rooms, and all of the ships are different. We actually parked next to another Eduardo ship going the other direction that had 2 stories. So for us, we ended up by the chickens on accident, but it actually worked out because we had more space in the back. I think people were avoiding the chickens, and then when it rained, which it did every day, really hard, when it rained, we stayed dry. We were kind of in the center. So when you do hang up your hammock, be mindful because it will rain, it will probably get windy. So the center is going to be better. Once aboard the ship, you hang up your hammock, and there are a few things provided. Like, you get 3 meals a day, and they are quite basic. You get like a porridge in the morning, a chicken and rice for lunch, and then usually like a chicken noodle soup for dinner. It's enough though. I definitely recommend bringing snacks, getting your own water. You can buy cold water and sodas on the boat, but having your own water is really nice. And then bring your own toilet paper, because this is just pretty typical in Latin America. You're not going to find public toilet paper, so bring your own toilet paper. The bathrooms actually were cleaned, in some cases more than once a day, so it did stay pretty clean. It is one of those situations where you have a toilet and then above you have a shower, which I have never experienced, but I did end up using it because it's hot, it's humid, you're next to chickens. I did want that eventually. Yeah, there's a lot of cargo on this ship. I mean, it's a cargo ship. It's not a fancy cruise ship, which means it is affordable. So you do have cargo below. We were sleeping next to chickens, but the ticket was 120 soles, which is about $30. Typically takes 3 days, but we actually ended up getting stopped by protests on the river. There are protests throughout Lima right now. People protesting the current president and extortion and the rise of crime. It is an experience that I recommend, but it's not for the faint of heart. If you are not okay with like being around people and chickens and probably being the only foreigners on the boat, if you don't want to be in the heat and the humidity, I don't recommend it. But if you are feeling adventurous, if you can take 3 or 4 days, it really is a cool experience. It's quite basic, it's quite rustic, but I really do recommend it. If you do decide to do this, some things that you'll need are water, toilet paper, bring your own bowl and spoon because they feed you, but they don't provide those things. I definitely recommend wipes. Plastic bags came really handy, especially in the shower situation. Putting all of my things in a plastic bag was really nice. And a blanket. It actually gets quite chilly at night, especially when it's raining with the wind. I had a flannel and was still pretty chilly. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I think we're ready to get off this boat.